Hi, hello, and welcome to December 9th. We're gonna be kind of low energy today. My toddler had a rough night, and tired. I'm frustrated. She's sick, and that's not her fault, but at some point I need sleep, and I have not gotten sleep in like a week now. So I'm a little grumpy. Yeah. And I am just having a rough day. I'm not really feeling it. I feel out of control. And I don't like feeling like that. I feel just So I thought I would sit down and kind of set up 2026. So for me, that looks like sitting down, setting up goals. For me, that's really just what is my goal, setting like a good, better, best situation, and then kind of setting up some tools to motivate, maybe. My brain is clearly not. Oh god, I'm so tired. Okay. My brain is just not gonna work today. So, let's get into it. So I was looking at my 2025 goals, and they're up on my corkboard up there. And I just started laughing because they are completely unattainable. They were thought out, but there really was no plan, which means that they're not actionable, right? So I wanted to really sit down and make this video for future me to reference when making goals for 2027. And then we can kind of see what worked, what didn't work. Did I make it? Did I not? So let's get started. I have set my goals on wow, my brain really isn't functioning today. Cards. My brain is saying Post-its, and I know that's not right. It's going to be a very long day. I fear. Anyways, we're gonna go through these. I put them this way because I pinned them to my corkboard so I can kind of reference them throughout the years. I'm gonna tell you right now, the colors are absolutely garish, but they're nice and bright for my blind self to see. So yes. So let's start with my health fitness goals. Then we'll move into social media, and then we will kind of go into the other goals that I don't necessarily talk about on this channel, just because I don't feel like the audiences would be overlapping, you know? So let's start with health and wellness. So my first goal is to obviously lose weight, get healthy. My good, better, best is my good is 250 pounds by the end of 2026. Better is 235, and best would be about 215, which is about the weight that I was 10 years ago when I met my husband. I was 206 pounds when I met him. So we're gonna see to get there. For this goal, I have set myself stickies. This board I typically use for my writing when I want to just frantically figure out stuff. So this might end up being placed on my bathroom mirror or maybe my door. I'm not quite sure yet. I might put it on my closet door. But for now, this made it really easy for me to just kind of figure how many stickies I needed. We start at 283, which is where I'm starting at, and we end at 244, which is kind of right in between good and better. And of course, the idea is to cross off or take off stickies as we go. So this will either sit in my office here, since that's where I am most often, or it'll be somewhere in my bedroom so I can see it on a regular basis. I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Also, never let me buy off-brand sticky notes again. These are the least sticky notes I have ever experienced in my life. So my next kind of health and wellness goal is to move more. This I'm going to track by if I can start doing 3 miles consecutively in one go. I know that my body can do 2 to 3 miles throughout the course of a day because my body requires the rest. But if I want to really get out with my mother and my grandmother, who do kick my ass on a regular basis on the walking trails, they can do 3 miles no problem. I would like to go with them and be able to do the full, 3 miles, chit chat, do the whole thing. Second part of that goal is to maintain about 7,000 steps a day. Now I do have a Fitbit. I monitor my heart rate and my step count with that. I have been doing really well the last 3 or 4 days, getting 5,000 steps a day. So we are going to keep up that momentum by just keeping the body moving. The next thing I'm going to track as soon as it's no longer snowy, because me and snow don't mix, is there is at that same park that we like to go walking in, there's this thing called the hill climb, and it's basically 200 steps up a hill. And if you're in Castle Rock, you know Philip S. Miller Park. If you're in Colorado, that is. They're like these big, 4x4, railroad tie looking things. And they're just stacked up this mountain. There's 200 of them. There's a nice trail that you can walk down, or that's about half a mile. Or you can walk down the hill climb. But me and my depth perception, we're not doing a down the hill climb. So I will take that half-mile cool down, usually. And I have not been able to physically do the hill climb in, God, since before I was pregnant. So it's been at least 4 years. So I would ideally like to get myself to a point where I can do that anywhere between 2 to 4 times. And then of course we're going to see if we can get the toddler going into it. They do have ditch points along the way that link into the trail. So we're going to try to get her into it to kind of, just make fitness a normal part of who she is. And then this last piece to move more really is dependent on my weight. So when I was 200 pounds, which was my thinnest post high school, I was able to start running. And I love it. I get a runner's high. It is super fun for me. But I can't put that kind of demand and damage on my body currently. So that one is really dependent on me healing my busted disc. It's dependent on how much weight I'm carrying. And I just want to make sure that when I do start running again, I am taking into account my body, my mental health, and really making sure that I am doing it correctly. My next goal is to lift heavy. Now, what that means for me is being able to set up, push days, pull days, leg days, however split I do, but I want to be able to do that consistently and obviously lifting heavier. So for me, I don't always go for like the increase in strength. Especially right now, I'm really focusing on endurance and cardiovascular strengthening. So for me, it's really, can I do a set of 12 at the weight that I can? Now, as I get back into it and I really want to up the amount that I carry, we'll start training to fail. But for now, my goal is to be able to do a push-pull day with a 5-pound dumbbell being a good goal, a 10-pound dumbbell being a better goal, and a 15 to 20-pound dumbbell being the best. I think I will for sure make the 10-pound, mostly because my toddler is 40 pounds. And though I can't I can't do a full workout with her kind of weight, I do lift her on a daily basis, so I know my body can. It's just a matter of getting the correct muscle groups engaged, which is one of the reasons why I go for endurance over training to fail, because my right side, I need to make sure that I'm engaging the correct muscle groups, because not all of the muscle groups connect to my brain, which is an entirely different problem. However, it's something that I have to acknowledge and work with and around. So that's really kind of my workout goals. So let's get into social media goals. So obviously I have this channel, Rosalind Rewired, and the origins of that is me trying to rewire my brain to be healthy. And of course, hi, I'm Rosalind. Hello. So obviously there's like 30 some odd of you at the filming of this video. So next year, my goals are good, better, best again. My good goal is 500 subscribers. 1,000 subs would be better, and 2,000 subs would be best. Again, like, the goal is to grow my channel. Eventually, I would love to be monetized and be able to have this as a source of income, especially as I am doing the toddler mom thing and she's doing her. So the other thing that I want to start next year and then maintain is an author channel. I do write books. I am working on getting my debut novel finished and then published next year. And I kind of want to start doing vlogs, detailing that process, ups, downs, all of that, kind of a similar vibe to what I do here, just, book related. So for that, I want to, good, better, best, good being 120 subs by the end of the year, better 240, and then best 500 subs. My channel is going to be called Rose and Quill because it's just me and what I can create. So I might do like book reviews. I'm gonna do some writing vlogs. I'm just gonna have fun with it. You know, writing is a huge passion of mine, and I just want to document the journey, right? So that leads into my author goals. I do have 2 books that I want to get finished. I want to get what I am currently dubbing Gehenna's Gate finished. I am in like draft 3 right now. I'm about 10,000 words in, which is not as impressive as it sounds, and want to get that drafted and published next year. There's another book that I have dubbed the Shadow Book that I have plotted out that I want to get drafted and published next year. And then I want to do a collection of short stories just to keep my skills growing. That eventually I do want to read on Rose and Quill, the YouTube channel. So for that I have A Good, Better, Best, which is 4 stories being good. That's roughly 1 story a quarter, which I think is pretty doable. We'll see. 8 stories being better and 12 being the best, which, you know, it in theory could be doable. Now, another thing that I am doing purely for fun and, you know, skills for when I eventually do publish my own book is that I am learning about voice acting, specifically to do book narration. One too many R's in that. So for me, it's to continue learning, and then I want to, you know, apply, submit, whatever for some books to narrate. My goal is 5 books throughout the year. But again, good, better, best. 1 submission being good, 3 being better, 5 being best. And then I am a tax preparer. I'm a fledgling tax preparer with H&R Block. I am currently in classes with them, but I will be starting the tax process here. Come January, I will be in office, and that'll be about 4 months worth of work during peak, you know, tax season. And then hopefully I will be able to stay on part-time with them. If I can't, the goal is to start applying for jobs in like February, March, and then get something that I can do from home, because my child is progressing so good in her medical program that she is dropping hours, which is awesome. Like it's the best possible outcome for her program, and the fact that it's happening within the first year is pretty awesome. But it does mean that I have to be flexible. Despite me wanting to have a full-time 9-to-5, you know, I've had to put her needs before my own. So we really, I want to cultivate something that I can do for myself while still being there for her 100% or 80%, you know, because nobody's perfect. So that's kind of what we're doing. They're kind of really simple, but really easy to tally up a yay or nay on if I've met the goals. We're also going to, I don't have this written down, but it's something that is like right in the forefront of my brain, so I don't feel like I need to, but my health is in flux right now. We are getting my thyroid checked here this week, on Friday, and we are going to see what's going on with that. I had an abnormal result at my annual physical a few months back, but it was a really weird result, so we weren't necessarily sure what was up with it. So I am doing a follow-up now 2 months later. I personally think that I am off, that my thyroid is hypo, because that runs in my family. Mostly because I do have some hair thinning, and the amount of random bouts of rage over nothing right now. I don't feel good. I don't feel right. So we're going to get that checked out. We're going to make sure that all of my other hormones are good. I had my hormones checked beginning of this year, I want to say. And all of those came back normal, except for my cortisol, which was elevated. So we're still going to watch that. I did see an endocrinologist. They weren't concerned. I could just be one of those people that have higher cholesterol, cortisol, but it also could be that I am just super stressed right now, which is I have an autistic toddler. And I'm disabled. Like, so, yeah. So we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Good Lord, I can count. I have 8 goals for 2026. I am super excited about them. The book I'm currently writing, I absolutely love it. I don't get to write a lot at a time, which is frustrating, but part of that's because I am struggling to learn how to write a novel in the first place. But hopefully I get that channel up and running soon, and I can just have some fun with it. Anyways, what are your goals for 2026? Do you have any comments or suggestions for mine? What are you most looking forward to in the new year? Let me know down below. And if you wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, that would really help me out. It means a whole bunch to me, and I will see you in the next one.